everyone, this is Chris McKee with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. Today we want to show you kind of a rundown of all of the classical guitars that are available from Cordoba Guitars. Now if you're not familiar with Cordoba, they have been manufacturing great guitars for a number of years now. They have lines that are built here in the United States, Spain, and in China. And what we want to do is kind of give you a rundown of what you can expect through that series, the guitars that are available, kind of the prices that they come in at, the features, and whatnot. So we're going to go through each one, and we're going to save some cool stuff like this for last, and give you an idea of what the guitars come with as well. So I'm going to set this one down and start here where most students do, and that is with this. It's the C1m from Cordoba. It's also called the Protege, and this is part of a line from Cordoba. The Protege line is basically a student series of guitars. It features all laminate construction with solid build quality, and comes in a variety of sizes. So this C1m is also available in a 3/4 size, half size, quarter size, and so forth. They have cadets, requintos, some really nice guitars that again are geared toward the student. So these have been really popular, we have found, with schools and with people who are taking classes, whether they be young or older. So if you're taking a class at like a community center or community college and you're picking up guitar for the first time, these have been very popular. They don't cost very much, under $200, and you get a really good solid build quality out of these guitars. So we're going to test each one of these so you can hear what they sound like. But starting off is this. It's not going to break the bank. It's really well built, and since it's all laminate, it's going to be kind of a rough and tumble guitar. It's not going to be affected by temperature and humidity very much, but it has a good quality sound and great playability to it. Now, one of the things that gives it that you're going to see on all of the Cordoba guitars that we are going to be looking at is a truss rod. If you're not familiar with playing guitar, a truss rod is a rod that's pretty common on steel strings, acoustic guitars, and electric guitars, and has been for decades. And it's basically a rod that runs through the neck. You have an adjustment inside the sound hole on this guitar, and if you turn that one way or the other, it gives you more or less relief on the neck. And that's important. Most classical guitars do not have that feature. It is not what you would say traditional, but Cordoba has chosen to offer that because what it gives you is adjustability in the guitar over the lifetime of owning the instrument. So let's let you hear what the C1m Protege from Cordoba sounds like. So the next guitar in our lineup is actually considered often the flagship in the Cordoba line, or at least in what's called the Iberia series of guitars that they offer, and that is the C5. Now this is not the entry level into Cordoba solid top. That's actually the C3m, which is part of this lineup. But the C5 is definitely the flagship and most preferred guitar in the lineup. We sell a ton of these. Now it features solid top construction with a cedar top, traditional fan bracing. All of the necks on these are nice and comfortable. They're not overly thick, but they're not overly thin either. Like a typical traditional classical guitar, it's going to feature a 2-inch nut and a flat radius on the fingerboard. The back and sides is laminate mahogany, and that's it. It doesn't come with a case or anything, but it's at a really great price point. So I think it's about $299 currently. You want to check our website for the latest pricing because it can change, but you get a lot of guitar for the money. The sound out of these is nice and robust. It's got great depth, owing partly due to the construction and the cedar top. You get that warm richness, and it plays really well. And like I said with the C1m, you have the adjustability in the neck. The C5 comes as this standard classical guitar. You can get it with a sunburst finish, and there are cutaway electric options in normal depth and thin line as well. So let's check out, see what this sounds like. So continuing on in the Iberia series, this is probably the fullest featured lineup that Cordoba has as a series. We move from the C5 to the C7. Now, like the C5, the C7 is also available as a traditional classical guitar without electronics, without a cutaway. But you do have the cutaway option. And when you choose the cutaway, the neck changes a little bit. It's a slightly shallower carve that it goes to. And this features Fishman electronics in the side of it with a blend capability. So there's a microphone on the underside of this that you are able to blend the piezo pickup that's under the saddle with the microphone and get a really nice sound, and it also has a built-in tuner. I've owned this guitar and it's beautiful. The tuners are beautiful. Black and gold tuners. The back and sides are lovely East Indian rosewood. It's laminate with a solid cedar top on this or the C7 CE model. Now the C7 can be had in the traditional classical version with the rosewood back and sides and either a cedar or a spruce top, which we're going to look at with our next guitar, because if you go with a spruce top, it really changes the tonality and response that the guitar is going to give you, which depending upon your playing style, you might be more suited for. So let's take a look at that actually. This next one is also in the Iberia series. We're just going to go around the world here. And this is a GK Studio. Now GK stands for Gypsy Kings, and this is a signature model for them that they offer in the Iberia series as well as in the Luthier series that we'll look at in a moment. So this is a beautiful spruce-topped cutaway electric acoustic classical guitar. It features the same Fishman system in it, and it's available in a variety of variations on this model. This is a limited edition with ziricote back and sides. It's a laminate wood that looks just beautiful. You can get it with rosewood, ziricote. I believe they do an ebony version as a limited sometimes, and there's a cypress version as well. And again, it's like the C7 that we looked at. It's got a slightly thinner carve of the neck because it's a cutaway. But the body is shallower than the C7, so it's not as deep as a traditional classical guitar, but it's not as thin as you might find in some other models like the C5 CE thin line that Cordoba offers. So it's kind of in the middle there. It offers more depth than a thin line model would, but it has a snappier response because it's not as deep. That, along with the spruce top, really gives it a lot of articulation, and it's designed for a more flamenco style of music. It has a tap plate right here in order to accommodate that style of playing, but it would also do very well if you are, say, a folk player. Maybe you play with a light pick. Spruce is going to typically respond better to that style of playing. Otherwise, it still has a 2-inch nut, still has a flat radius. It's still a decidedly classical guitar with a more of a flamenco vibe and response to it with the electronics and cutaway and whatnot. Beautiful guitar. I've owned one of these too, and I really enjoy them. I think you will too. Price on these is about $700, so you're starting to move up, and this is really kind of sits at the top of the Iberia line that Cordoba offers. Okay, so this guitar actually sits in a whole series by itself with a few others. And this is the Fusion 12 from Cordoba. Now the Fusion 12 comes with either cedar or a spruce, cedar or spruce top. There's also a 14 fret version, the Fusion 14. Now the fact that there's a 14 fret version might alert you to what this guitar is all about, with its name being Fusion. This guitar is there for a steel string player who wants to play classical guitar, or someone who just needs something that's maybe a bit more comfortable on their fretting hand. And so it has some designs that are there to basically implemented to help your playing ability. So it's just as deep as the GK Studio that we looked at a moment ago. Again, this is a spruce top, European spruce. You can get it with cedar. It has electronics in the side, a Fisherman pickup. No blend option on this one, but it does have the built-in tuner. And it is a 12 fret neck, which is traditional to a classical guitar. Outside of that, the nut width is a little narrower, and there's a radius to the fingerboard. That means that instead of the fingerboard being perfectly flat, there's a bit of a curve to it. This is what we would be used to on a regular acoustic or an electric guitar. And that helps with chording. It's just not traditional to a classical guitar. So this is a guitar that's designed to kind of sit in both worlds, so to speak. It has that warm classical tone and response from nylon strings that we're used to. But if you are a decidedly electric or acoustic guitar player, and classical guitars are typically too wide with too thick of a neck and too flat of a fingerboard for you, then this is the answer. And this is part of a line from Cordoba, so there's something in a variety of flavors to suit your needs if you're looking for a hybrid style guitar. In fact, we have done a video, depending upon when this video comes out and the other one comes out, look for another video we're doing featuring this guitar and a few others if you are looking for that kind of hybrid classical guitar design. So take a listen and we'll check out the next one. Okay, so now we move into the Luthier series from Cordoba. Now these, like the Iberia and the Protege series, are made overseas in their China factory. But these are hand-built instruments that are made of completely solid timbers, solid back and sides and top. Now the two that I'm holding in my lap are both C10 models. We have a C10 with a spruce top and a C10 with a cedar top. The C9 is part of this series, which offers both options as well. The C12 moves up from the C10 with lattice bracing, which gives you a little bit more pop from the kind of softer and sustain of the fan bracing, which is what both of these and most classical guitars have. And the other one that's part of this series is the GK Pro. Like the GK Studio we saw, it's the same kind of Gypsy King model, very, very similar in design, but with all solid wood and that same Fisherman pickup system. So that's the idea behind the Luthier series. You're basically moving up to an all solid wood construction design, but still decidedly in the classical guitar world for the most part. Now, we're going to A-B these back to back so that you can hear the differences between cedar and spruce on the exact same guitar, because it does make a huge difference, and you're probably going to prefer one or the other depending upon your style of playing. So check it out. Okay, so now we move on from the Luthier series to the España series. And as the name implies, these are guitars that are made in Cordoba's factories in Spain, which is where the classical guitar really was born and has thrived for hundreds of years at this point. These guitars feature solid wood tops, some laminate back and sides, some solid depending upon the model. There's a lot of beautiful options with the wood choices that are available, and some unique designs that are only available in the España series. These also come with a beautiful humidicase, or humicase, which is a brand that Cordoba owns, and it's a wonderful arch top case, which I'll show you with the next guitar in this series in a moment. And what's nice about it is you get an arch top hard shell case with a beautiful velour interior and a built-in humidification system to ensure that over the lifetime of the guitar you are able to humidify it properly to maintain the integrity of the instrument. It's very, very important. So this one, part of the España series, is the 45CO. This is a limited edition with beautiful striking striped ebony back and sides, and it features a solid European spruce top. The rosette marquetry is beautiful. Everything about this guitar is absolutely gorgeous. Spanish heel construction, 2-inch nut, ebony up on the headstock as well. Beautiful tuners. The guitar is, wow, it's really, really pretty. Sorry. So these are really fantastic instruments. It is classical guitar. There's no electronics in this. It's made to be played and plays really, really well, which we will demonstrate for you now. Okay, so I said I would show you the cases. Now this one looks probably a little thinner than you were expecting. That's because of the guitar that's in it. So this is a humicase, and they do offer these, and we do sell them on their own. But they're beautiful cases, beautiful velour interior. And up here is this pocket with the sponge and its case that you can basically take out. It just comes undone here. Let me show you. You pop that out, you open this up, you submerge the sponge, wring out the excess. You don't want something dripping water in your case over your guitar. That's bad news. And then you put it back in here. It locks in place like so. And there you go. It sits right over the sound holes. It's going to make sure that the body of the guitar and the entire case get the humidity it needs. And it's kind of, you know, it's pretty user-friendly. I was going to say idiot-proof, and then I guess I did. If it's dry and hard, you need to wet it again. That's basically how easy it gets. So that's the case that these come in. It's a locking case as well. And this is the 55 FCE. Now this is also a guitar that you'll probably see in the hands of the Gypsy Kings if you watch them perform live. Like the 45 CO we just looked at, it is made in España, and it features a very thin design. It's a thin line basically is what they would call this, similar to what you would see on the C5 CE thin lines I discussed earlier. This one is a limited edition with Macassar ebony back and sides. There's a Ziricote model, I believe, as well. This is an upgraded Fishman system. So you have the blend control. It's thinner and fits right here on the side very well, but you do have the mic and the undersaddle pickup. This features a spruce top with the tap plate in a thin body and a traditional classical neck, but with a thinner carve to it because it's a cutaway. So like the GK Studio that we saw before, this decidedly sits at the camp of flamenco music. So with the spruce top and the thinness of the body, it is a immediate, bright attack and articulation designed for that style of music. And it serves very, very well as a stage guitar because you're not going to get very much feedback either. The heel on this is really comfortable. So if you can see that, the heel is actually carved to accommodate your hand, the palm of your hand as you play up here on the cutaway. So it's very ergonomic, and it also looks really beautiful the way that the purfling kind of follows the lines there. Really nice. So that's the 55 FCE from the España series. Now the only one that we are not covering in this video is the Master series, because I don't have one to show you, unfortunately. But the Master series is basically, well, it is a high-end series from Cordoba where they, having access to some incredible, expensive, vintage guitars, have recreated these in a sense. old Hausers and Torreses and whatnot. Those are made in their master custom shop facility in California, and they are phenomenal guitars. Every one that we've ever gotten in sold rather quickly and had just beautiful tone to it. So if you're interested in any of those, those are all very decidedly different and unique, and probably geared toward a particular player. And if you are curious about one or having questions, definitely give us a call and we will be glad to help you find the right one to suit your needs. So let's listen to the 55 FCE. Check it out. So that's Cordoba Guitars' lineup of guitars. Now they also sell things like ukuleles, which are great, and they're a fantastic company to work with. They have some designs that basically blend the traditional concepts like Spanish heels and typical neck dimensions and whatnot with modern options like the cutaway electronics and the ever important truss rod that ensures that you're going to be able to adjust the playability and relief on the neck of your classical guitar for many, many years to come. So if you have been playing classical guitar, or you're wanting to get into classical guitar, or maybe you're a steel string or electric player that wants to add something to your arsenal, Cordoba offers something in their lineup to suit your needs. And beyond this video, if you have questions or you're still not sure what to choose, give us a call at the number below, and we will help you find the perfect Cordoba to match your aesthetic choice, your musical needs, and playing preferences. As always, thanks for watching. Hey everyone, I want to thank you for watching the videos that we produce. We put these out to help you choose the right guitar, understand some of the options that are out there, and to showcase some of the latest models that you may not get the opportunity to play in your local music store. If you have benefited or enjoyed watching any of our videos, then I want to tell you how you can help us to make more. We have created a new t-shirt just for guitar nuts like you and me. It's this. It says, "I'm a guitar nut." So if you're like me, you are a guitar nut. And if you're also like me, walking around naked is probably an offense. So we want you to have this shirt. Follow the link, go to our website. These are going to be limited time, and you can put in a pre-order for it now. They will be shipping soon. Once they're gone, they're gone. So follow the link below and get your guitar nut shirt that only you and other guitar players will understand with a knowing wink. Thanks again for watching.